아 다르고 어 다른 거야. 봐봐. 푹신, 폭신. 주는 감각이 전혀 다르잖아. 폭신은 무거운 헤어젤을 발라서는 구현이 안 되는 거라고. 퍼석과 파삭도 달라. 바삭하게 한 녀석은 그래도 팔 한 짝으로 봐줄 순 있다만 퍼석은 내가 그것 때문에 장부조항 이렇게 해석해도 되냐고 형님들께 여쭈기까지 했잖냐. 처형 대상으로 둬도 되냐고.
He's still very Ricardo, isn't he? Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Ekamak. I should have this ready. I hope I do. Yes, I do. It's time to dispense House of Spiders' middle Nursefather, Outis.
딸램! 엄마가 말했지? 마음에 안 드는 거 있음 언제든 말하라고!
Oh wow, she is completely tone different compared with our usual Outis, isn't she? Anyway, there are things I'd like to try with her today, so let's just have a look. First of all, the character herself. We start off with just 2 abilities. Stomping, which heals SP, so it's not that bad. Don't let something like this break ya! This skill gains offense level equal to highest resonance level divided by 2, maximum of 3 rounded down. If this unit's sword is at first seal removed stage, inflict burn. Gain 5 aggro to this skill slot. Inflict several bleeds. Interesting. She doesn't have her specialty skills yet because that's at tier 3. Rule violation. Combat start, gain 15% of missing HP as shield once per turn. Inflict 2 bleed and lower your user's stagger threshold by 5. It's beginning to feel like the middle is making... Hang on, where am I going with this? It feels like the middle is starting to become the old style guard because all of them are gaining HP as shield based on how much HP they don't have. Alright, this unit is considered an identity that inflicts burn and bleed. If this unit's sword has first seal removed or second seal removed, skills that inflict bleed are considered skills that inflict burn and bleed. Yeah, they have that on this. Upon entering the encounter, gain sealed sword. At less than 80% HP, use time to unpack as an unopposed attack at skill end, converting sealed sword to first sealed removed. Buried in the extreme deepest reaches of the city are the ruins. Delve past a certain depth and you are no longer in the city. This is a shard of a sword once wielded by one of the End Watchers who inhabited the ruins awaiting the coming apocalypse. Only a fragment, but within it their immense power lies slumbering, untouched, unmarred. So you once told me. Yes, my elder siblings, this legendary sword is indeed quite badass. If Middle Apprentice Ishmael is on the field alongside this unit, activate the following effects. Gain Clash Win. Check this out, kiddo! If it was the first skill this unit used, gain additional. On hit using a skill, gain Check this out, kiddo. Does not gain this from using cracked coins. And Ishmael gains I Got Praised buffs, which do roughly the same thing. If this unit is defeated at encounter start, or if this unit is defeated during the encounter, Blade of Spiders Ryoshu gains the following effects. Entanglement, take less damage, when hit gain offense level up. Time to unpack, so she actually starts out with her skill 3 prepared, with a skill 3, but not one she can use easily. External effects cannot trigger the skill to be reused. Attack end, remove a seal from the sword. Unbreakable coin, inflict burn. Unbreakable coin, inflict bleed. Raise the stagger threshold, inflict envy fragility. She doesn't have her sacrifice skill though. Sanity. Increase after winning a clash based on clash count. Base value is 10, raised by 20% per clash count after 1. Increased by 10 after this unit defeats an enemy, regardless of level. Increased by 5 after an ally defeats an enemy, regardless of level. So she is someone worth hitting level 60 on. Raise her speed range from 3 to 5 to 3 to 6. Stomping. Gain coin power for every 6 bleed plus burn on target. At the moment it's just 3 plus 2. Wow, hang on. That's actually really bad. Yikes. But it has a maximum of 2, so that can become 11 at max power. Good luck reaching max power. Inflict 2 bleed count and 1 bleed. Don't let something like this break ya. Coin power plus 1 for every 6 burn and bleed on target to a maximum of 2. It rolls a 12. This skill gains offense. Inflict bind next turn. Alright, her passive. Apply Vengeance Mark on the unit that dealt the most skill damage to an ally. Apply Book of Vengeance House of Spiders on the unit that dealt the most skill damage to this unit. Gain Middle the Grudge for every envy resonance. If the following enemy conditions are met during combat phase, gain Middle Grudge. When this unit, or House of Spiders Ishmael, is hit by another unit's skills. Twice per turn for Outis, once per turn for Ishmael. If the following are met during the combat phase, gain Middle Grudge, but it does not count Outis or Ishmael for it. When a middle ally is hit by another unit's attack skill, once per turn per identity. When a House of the Spiders ally is hit by another unit's skill, once per turn by her identity. When this unit gains Middle Grudge, if the target has Vengeance Mark, gain additional stack of Middle Grudge. Gain Middle Vengeance Tattoo Great Sister for every 5 Middle Grudge consumed. Only to Ishmael. When House of Spiders Outis is hit by another unit's skill, she gains Middle Grudge. I need to double check this. Oh wait, actually this one isn't a part of the passive, this is... No wait, we've already seen that, never mind. It talks about consuming Middle Grudge, but the thing is, she doesn't have a way to actually consume it yet. Alright, who's ready for this mess of text and dialogue? Speed range goes from 3 to 6 to 4 to 7. Skill gained, Stamp of Vengeance. Final power plus 1 for every burn and bleed on the target. If the unit has Civilization, activate as complete and total extermination. This skill gains offense level equal to highest resonance level to a maximum of 6. And it has a plus 4 already, so that's pretty cool. Final power plus 1 for every Middle Vengeance Tattoo Great Sister on self. If this unit's sword is at first seal removed or second seal removed stage, inflict burn by the base amount of bleed the skill inflicts on coin hit. Attack end, consume all Middle Grudge on self. Inflict bleed and bleed count, inflict bleed and bleed count. I'll gut you like a fish. Coin, this is her skill 1, Levitian exclusive skill, coin power plus 1 for every burn and bleed on target. This skill gains offense level equal to highest resonance, divided by 2, maximum of 3 rounded down. Gain burn equal to the number of coins in this skill. And they're all unbreakables, aren't they? Inflict bleed count and raise the stagger threshold. Inflict burn and burn count. If this unit has Great Middle Vengeance Tattoo Great Sister, inflict a bind. Gut Stab Levitian. If target has burn plus bleed, final power plus 1. This skill gains offense level equal to highest resonance divided by 2. Gain 5 aggro to the skill slot next turn. Gain burn equal to the number of coins in the skill and lose SP. Gut Stab Levitian. inflict burn, bleed count, and then get bind. There's no way to increase the coin count there because she's got 5 coins. It just wouldn't be plausible to balance. It has final power. Complete and total extermination Levition. Levition exclusive skill, final power +1 for every burn and bleed on the target. Deal 1% damage for every burn and bleed on target. The skill gains offense level equal to highest resonance, maximum of 2, maximum of 6. Gain coin power from having middle vengeance tattoos. Gain burn equal to the number of coins of the skill. Lose SP, consume all middle grudge on self. Inflict burn and burn count, bleed and bleed count. Deal pierce damage equal to burn and bleed on the target of this coin's final damage. Deal blunt damage equal to burn and bleed on target of this coin's final damage. Good girl, your sacrifice for the family won't be forgotten. 16 + 2. Levition exclusive skill. Unclashable target fixed. The external effects cannot trigger this skill to be reused. This skill does not trigger defense skills. Final power +1 for every burn and bleed on the main target. Final power +1 and deal extra damage for every middle vengeance tattoo great sister on self. Max of 3, max 100%. Yikes. Apparently this can be used to cancel out certain super attacks. Because if it's a super attack that is intercepted by this, then it cancels it out. I think I have seen a video of someone doing it with Rien's Knockoff Furioso. If a targeted ally is killed, gain 10 middle grudge after consuming all her middle grudge, so she might just get it back again. If blunt resistance is below normal, treat it as normal. Inflict burn count, bleed count. Deal blunt damage equal to 100% of this coin's final damage. Raise the coin power of stomping, so now she has 9. Coin power +1. If this target has Levition, or if the unit has Levition, activate I'll gut you like a fish. Heal SP. If this unit has middle vengeance tattoos, inflict bind once per turn. Coin power. If this unit has Levition, activate as gut stab. Raise the coin power, so that becomes 15. If this unit's sword is at first seal or second seal, inflict burn by the base amount of bleed. Why doesn't it bring up the seal? It's because she's kicking things. This is one that actually uses her sword. Or second seal removed. If this unit has middle vengeance tattoo, great sister, deal blunt damage equal to burn and bleed on the target of this coin's final damage. Time to unpack. External effects cannot trigger this to be reused. If this unit has middle vengeance tattoo, great sister, deal slash damage equal to the number to a fraction of each coin's final damage on coin hit, and remove a seal from the sword. Inflict burn, bleed, stagger threshold, envy fragility. Thanks, kiddo. When this unit has Levition, an ally that has less than 20% HP loses a clash against an enemy. Use your sacrifice for the family won't be forgotten skill that targets the enemy as the main target and the ally as the sub-target once per encounter. Middle Apprentice Ishmael has 30% instead of 20%. If this skill kills an ally in the middle, gain envy damage. If this killed House of Spiders Ishmael, gain Avenging My Family next turn instead. Upon entering this encounter for the first time, gain Sealed Sword. When each seal is removed from the sword, gain Rising Fever, equal to the corresponding unsealing stage. Okay, so when she loses at 80% HP, she will unpack her sword. That's why we haven't been seeing it That's why it hasn't been getting past that first level. Gotcha. When each seal is removed from the sword, gain Rising Fever equal to the corresponding unsealing stage. Gain 1 Rising Fever for the sealed sword, and 2 Rising Fever for the first and second seals. When the following conditions are met, lose Rising Fever once per turn. Upon using Stamp of Vengeance, lose a stack, including activated as a counter. At 6 plus NV Resonance, lose a stack at turn end. Actually, did they upgrade that defensive skill? Okay, that's probably her Uptie 4 bonus then. At 6 NV Episode Loot Resonance, lose a stack. At 0 Rising Fever, use Time to Unpack as an unopposed attack at skill end. At 0 Rising Fever stacks, if this unit failed to use Time to Unpack that turn, use Time to Unpack at the next turn's combat start. While this unit's sword has sealed sword at less than 80% HP, use Time to Unpack regardless of Rising Fever. At 50% or less, gain 3 Ridiculous Grit. Fix any attack type resistances that exceed normal to normal unless staggered. Take less damage, 30% minimum, but also Middle Sister Tattoos will increase it by 12% per stack. Rounded at a 50%. On Clash Win, heal extra SP. If this unit lost SP due to skill effects, deal extra damage next turn, lose a stack at turn end. So she has 3 turns of being much tankier than normal. When staggered for the first time in this encounter, recover from stagger and gain Middle Grudge, excluding 4 staggers. Her 15 Middle Grudge, replace a base skill on this unit's dashboard with Stamp of Vengeance or Complete and Total Extermination. So if you do end up capping her Grudge, she can immediately dump it. Apply only on the skill on the leftmost slot's bottom row on the dashboard. This effect does not activate if either Stamp of Vengeance or Complete and Total Extermination is already in the affected slot. Someone mess with the family? Apply damage up and protection on allies that equipped counter skills 2 times per encounter, excluding clashball counters. If the affected ally is in the middle, apply 2 NV damage up and 2 protection instead. Alright guys, it's time. Yeah, someone did mention that this is the moment of her being cut in half. Buddy? Buddy, is that you? It's you, right? Yes, she is. Have you no eyes? Now be silent. Your braggadocio is as distracting as ever. She has reached the end of her homeward journey. Huh, you've got some fucking nerve coming home after that shit you pulled when you left. The hell? You let some fools beat your ass out there? Why are you so bloodied up? Who the fuck is that brat? Who dared to hurt us? Has the collaborator been evacuated? Yes, moved to a separate location as planned. Researchers of the LCE department recalled the request relayed by the collaborator. No need to try to kill the intruders, only slow them down as much as possible. Every second helps. Engaging the intruders directly, even with ego gear, proved to be mostly ineffective. Some managed to take advantage of the uniqueness inherent in certain ego gears to catch the intruders off guard and buy some time, but most did not fare so well. Ember's status. 2 intruders have infiltrated the hallway. That makes it 5 targets. So the LCE department decided to adopt certain methodologies employed by another department and release the abnormalities, the monsters that were born of humanity. Dang, it suddenly got hella hot in here. What the heck is that? And here I was wondering when she'd grown so fond of playing tag after hating it all her life. Looks like she's prepared a fun little toy for me to play with. A great embered moth blocks the Nursefather's way, its sweeping wings fluttering ponderously in the air. The room soon fills with heat haze, tongues of flame licking through the hallway corner to corner with each beating of its wings. Too bad. Because this one's not as bad as that monster from back when. My little sis, you've not been to the ruins before, have you? I've read of it a few times in the book, but never have I set foot in it until today. And that creature, I've not seen anything like it. You ain't scared, are you? Of course not. A giant of lava. I can see now how I could have killed a great brother of ages past. Indeed, this is the most fitting foe to be given a Labour designation from the middle. Ha! But now that we three siblings are here, not even such a monstrous creature will be spared from Middle's vengeance. Damn, girl, that's what I'm talking about. Like I always say, kid's got a bright future ahead of her. Then shall we get right to... Junior, we're not in any rush. Let's take a slow look around the place before we get down to business. We're in the ruins, for crying out loud. Great brother, great sister. You must both understand how much our family suffers when your absence becomes... prolonged. Don't worry about 'em, kiddo. That's what family is. They can afford to make a little sacrifices for one of us, ain't that right? It's your fault. You're the one that gave Matthias the idea of, I don't need to worry about everything. Great brother, I, Outis, shall etch your words to my heart. Still, I think you deserve a little credit. Haven't had a plaything this hot in a hot minute. The Nursefather's purple tattoos begun to emit light like they've caught on fire. And the beastly foot formed by layers upon layers of tattoos crushes the weakened ground that had already partially melted from the heat. With a thoom, she takes off into the wall of fire, not searching for a passage through the blaze, but the center of it, where the fire burns the hottest. Reaching out for the incandescent crimson wings. Mama? Remember, kiddo? You see these enemies collecting stacks of something? That's the first thing you gotta go for. So what now? We all saw the sorry state my ticket's in. Does this mean Project House of Spiders that has essentially fallen through? Now's hardly the time to worry about that. We have to avenge her. Look at what they've done to my buddy. If we don't settle the score... Yeah, and how are they gonna pull that off, huh? What, gonna make enemies out of all 5 fingers at once? Give me a fucking break. Stop, please. Take this name contention elsewhere. I have enough distractions as is. Nothing but a delayed ending to a tale. The plan remains unchanged. Though, perhaps this calls for a reinvention of a certain parenting techniques. I don't know what you cowards are yapping away about behind that monster, but... Hey, what do you think? Mama's badass, isn't she? The intruder has destroyed entity 00127's wings. I thought releasing the abnormalities from containment could buy enough time for the collaborator, but... I'm not so certain now. Ah, kiddo, don't activate those thermal blades for this one. It's a fire monster, huh? It's probably immune to heat. Yeah, burn debuff generally doesn't stick out on fire type enemies, even in those games we played together. Then should I give him a good kick like Mama? Kiddo, if you want to dish out as much damage as Mama does, you're gonna need some more leg augmentations and tattoos. Ugh, fine. And I'll just try out some moves I saw in the mag today. I appreciate the toy, but it's getting a bit old. Well then. As the eldest brother, I claim this sword as mine. Sure, it's not like there's anyone else who can wield that thing. We don't have the aptitude for it, little sister and I. Anyways, put that back. We can pick up that sword on our way back. Just one look at that monster tells me fire won't do jack. Yeah, I guess we gotta handle the junior sister's labor first. So, sister, tell me about that monster's crimes. It has brought harm to a great brother of the middle. And it goes without reading, but that is a crime punishable by complete and immediate execution. There it is. I'll admit, I had fun. Flaming moth monster, bunch of bookish nerds wearing what appear to be bizarre workshop gears. But that's barely an appetizer. Tell you what, I was just about to be sorely disappointed with this paltry spectacle. But looks like you've got more up your sleeve. So that man next to you is supposed to be your ticket out of this, huh? As the terms of our contract state, I'm protecting you from that individual, correct? Very well. 2 officers of a finger. This should be manageable. Oh, yo! Mama, I recognize that dude. I saw him in the Fix of the Year Yomnies section of the Fixer Insights mag. He's a Section 1 Fixer of Zwei Association. Going to have a squeaky clean record in client bodyguard missions. That's so. Sounds like I finally found someone who'll be worth unboxing for. Yeah, over here, Junior. Great bro's got a good grip on this shithead. Now's your chance, guys. The Junior's mind raced. This is an opening, but striking the monster's lava exterior does next to nothing. She has to go for its core, the origin of the flame that burns so hot it feels just about ready to devour the whole world. But as things are now, she can't get a good angle on it. At least not by herself. Let us attack in tandem, sister. Oh, sorry, Junior, but I'm all out of gas. Can't take so much as a single step right now. Looks like it's up to you. But how? The Junior of the past saw it then. Adjust the arc of her kick by just a hair. And she could land a hit on the monster's core. It's just that it did also carve a path straight through the great brother's heart. And in that moment, indeed, in that very moment, a realization, a certitude, struck the Junior like a flash of lightning. I see it now. To think our great brother himself would go that far for my sake. Yes, what else could it have meant? The great brother, moved by boundless fraternal devotion, had chosen to sacrifice himself to become the very stepping stone by which his Junior would shatter the monster's core. Hey kiddo, I'm starting to lose my grip here. Mind wrapping this up quick? Of course, brother. Your directive will be carried out to the T. Right this instant. Right, hurry up and... Objectively speaking, there was no need to destroy the core right that instant. After all, exhaustion was beginning to become apparent in the monster after the trio's relentless assault. And the Junior had no doubt that her strong brother had more in him to give. As for the great sister, she had only overdrawn the power of her tattoos in a moment of urgency. Nothing someone of her caliber couldn't manage. Given a little time, she'd be back on her feet. But the Junior disregarded that line of thinking. Envy. Jealousy. The Junior poured the full force of her tattoos into her leg, which soon began to emit a rippling, shimmering purple glow. And in her mind, in her eyes, a singular image burned hotter than lava. The sight of the great brother and his triumphant laughter as he claimed the sword as his own. Wait, Junior, your kick's going straight for... Huh? Kiddo, why? Oh, but brother, you did say that family can afford to make a little sacrifices for one of them. You, what have you done? Sis, don't tell me you're gonna... Listen, why don't you just put that down so we can... The great sister, who was desperately scratching something into her book, slumped to the ground right where she stood. Silence fell upon the ruins. The only sound that could be heard was the soft turning of pages. A moment later, the junior let out a sigh of relief. Every grudge inscribed in a book of vengeance is shared across every other one. Put another way, an unrecorded grudge is no grudge at all. Although one of the lines the great sister had jotted down, "The situation is not dire," clung to the back of her mind. The junior decided to not give it too much thought. "You aided me on my pilgrimage, and even yielded this super sick sword of legend. I must say, dearest great siblings of mine, you're just the best." As though proving the Apprentice's Fit magazine trivia true, the Zwei Fixer, who was said to have never failed a single bodyguarding mission, held firm against the Nursefather, a great sister of the middle. Meanwhile, with each passing minute, the Nursefather's unease gnawed deeper. Her search for someone to lead her to storm this facility in an unknown location, but she could not be stored here forever, because she had to reach the designated back door before the appointed time. Perhaps the pressure of time was what spurred her sword, as her movements began to show signs of frustration. As if on cue, however, the apprentice of the House of Spiders managed to somehow spot an opening in the Fixer's guard, and launched herself to tie the opponent's feet. "Ooh! What you gonna do about it now, huh? I read up about that gimmick in a mag. That shield needs refueling every 10 blocks, right? How did you... Mama, now!" Good girl. Mama? Remember, kiddo. Levitian. In the blink of an eye, the smouldering sword slashed through the apprentice's flesh and bones, melting and cleaving through everything it touched, until it reached the Fixer's head and cut it off. There wasn't a flicker of hesitation in the trajectory of the attack. From the start, the Nursefather had never considered half measures. Taking an arm or leg, after all, doesn't always eliminate a threat. Adjust the arc of the sword by just a hair, to decapitate the opponent with 100% certainty. We're family. A little sacrifice ain't a thing between us. The Nursefather wholeheartedly believed it, that no sacrifice is too great if it's for one's family. What were the lives of her apprentice and her daughter before that truth? Alright, and that leaves just you. A once white ribbon flutters to the ground, fire eating away at its edge, until it becomes charred black. You. It's your fault that my buddy fell sick. You made our own daughter hate us. It all began because you were born. Because you came to the House of Spiders. Isn't that right, Yoshihide? We suddenly jumped from third person to first person. I picked up the charred ribbon and tucked it against my chest. These apprentices had been raised and nurtured to replace me. Or perhaps to face me. Oh wait, no, this was all from Yoshihide's point of view, huh? But I had no sympathy left in me to spare for them. I spent it all feeling sorry about my own life, watched as a mere replacement for my mum. There was no room left in me for pity. You and the other Nursefathers. You still don't understand what Mum truly cherished. No, you're the one who doesn't know the first thing about my daughter. My buddy and I lived together under this roof for decades longer. I don't know about her other Nursefathers, but my parental love for my daughter, it has always been completely earnest. All you have to do is submit quietly and be completed. That'll make us truly happy, both us Nursefathers and my precious daughter. You really think that's what Mum wants? What a stupid question. It's all grandstanding, isn't it? You don't even know what you're saying, what you're robbing us of. I've heard enough. and I'll destroy everything. That relic, those chains, the juvenile collection of toys, your life. I will find every last one of the things you hold dear and destroy them. Heh, bring it on. I'll be damned if I let you take even a single scrap from me. So the collaborator was the point of view character after all. Oh hey, 35 minutes. Well, guess what? We're not done. First of all, stomping gains base coin power. That's nice. If this unit has middle vengeance tattoos, convert 2 coins into unbreakable coins. And heal SP. Raise the stagger threshold. Don't let something like this break ya. Convert this skill's coins equal to middle vengeance tattoos into unbreakables beginning with coin 3. I.e. don't bring her against Mad Gregor. Inflict paralyze next turn. Once per turn. Raise the base power of Stamp of Vengeance. This one also got a base power boost. 6, 12, 16. At 6 plus envy resonance, coin power plus 1. On use, convert this skill's coins into unbreakable equal to the number of vengeance tattoos she has beginning with coin 3. At first or second seal removed, inflict burn by the amount of bleed the skill coins inflict. Inflict bleed, bleed count, bleed, bleed count. I'll gut you like a fish! Coin power for L, the burn and bleed on a target. If this unit has middle vengeance tattoo, Great Sister, inflict bleed. Inflict 2 bleed count. Raise the stagger threshold by 10. Gut Stab Levition has its base power raised to 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 15, 18. Yikes. And then this has its base power raised. 15, 19. Final power plus 1 for every burn. With middle vengeance tattoos gain coin power. And inflict bleed potency on coin hit. If infected as a counter skill, gain blunt damage up next turn. Burn, burn count, bleed, deal slash damage equal to burn and bleed. Bleed count, inflict slash damage equal to burn and bleed. Nothing on this coin V. Combat start at 6 plus NV absolute resonance, use Stamp of Vengeance or complete and total extermination. Gain 30% of missing HP as shield. Stomping. So yes, I did just level her up to the cap for a reason. Today's Luxcavations are particularly nice for her. So let's just shuffle some of these stats around a touch. I believe between the two, Outis will be...
어디 보자.
I believe between the two...
거미집 특별 조항에 따르면
Okay, so let's take this from the top. Outis, Heathcliff, him.
이럴 것 같아서 대기 타고 있었지.
H사와 8
대갚아줄 상.
형님과 누님들을 위해
You have blunt skills and an envy guard. You'd probably be our best second stage.
출발하죠.
연구자에게 자꾸 물리려고.
복제팀의 협조가 필요한 거지. 자,
120번 홍로 준비. 120번 홍로.
볼 것도 없이 처형이군.
Oh, she starts the fight by shouting, by slamming her book shut. Actually, there was something new, wasn't there? In-combat dialogue subtitles. Okay, let's see. We only need envy skills here, so...
자, 부숴줄 테다.
이제 갖고 놀기 틀렸다. 그쯤 해줬으니 포장 잡자.
거창을 이겨주지.
그렇지. 바로 그거다.
열라 열받도 이러면 아무것도 못해도
얼마나지?
Ooh, this is going to be very entertaining, isn't it? Reduced by 1 when hit by 2 skills. So taking a hit from a counter isn't so bad.
그래, 내가 왔다.
쳐다보긴 우리는 못하는 건 알아가지고 이제 공감 맞지?
바로 그거다 딸래.
아무튼 슬램!
거창을 이겨주지.
엄마만큼은 못하지만 나도 녹이면서 뵐 수 있거든.
Okay, we actually do need that lust. We need someone to use a lust skill here.
내가 봐주마.
이걸로 제가 팠군.
쳐다보긴 우리는 멋있는 건 알아가지고
좋아. 장구의
이거 공감 맞지?
바로 그거다 딸래.
브레이크 슬램!
I wonder what the lore explanation for these. I wonder what the lore explanation for the whatsits are. The Luxcavations.
불에 적히와. 난 거창을 이겨주지.
Well, that was entertaining, wasn't it?
마침내 돌아왔구나. 나의 스페셜 헤어 쿠폰. 혼자서 그 절묘함을 구현해보려 해도 도무지 완벽해지질 않았지. 이제야 발 뻗고 잘 수 있겠어. 얘들아, 철수다. 오늘은 이 형님이 쏜다.
Well, at least he's having fun. But here, the other thing that we could make better use of for envy.
볼 것도 없이 처형이군.
Because this one takes some actual strategy and effort as opposed to just keep hitting the envy button. Try to be a bit more careful with your health. Okay, so Defibrillator isn't going to kick in at all. But we need 4 envy to get all our skills in order.
거긴 킬존이다.
쳐다보긴. 우리는 멋있는 거 알아가지고.
그쯤 해줬으니 포장지 한번 벗겨야겠군. 그렇지. 바로 그거다 딸래.
I guess, check this out, kiddo, is that effect up there? Okay, so who are you hitting with that? Target fixed. I will make you regret making that target fixed. Oh wait,
불길한 소리. 예감이 좋지 않다. 경계를 늦추지 말도록.
방금 기술 봤어? 디테일 진짜 장난 아니던데. 이렇게 하는 건가? 이렇게?
the target does have bleed. Will the target still have bleed?
디테일 진짜 장난 아니던데. 이렇게 하는 건가? 이렇게?
That's a clashable counter. No, the target isn't going to have enough bleed by the time we roll around his turn. Unfortunate.
그래, 내가 왔다.
그렇지.
이거 긴감 맞지?
바로 그거다 딸래.
필살! 바이올렛 브레이크 슬램!
쳐다보긴. 우리는 멋있는 건 알아가지고.
They do actually have commentary with each other, don't they? The thing is that because it zooms in on them when using their skill 3, you're never going to see what the other one's saying about it.
엄마만큼은 못하지만 나도 녹이면서 뵐 수 있거든. 쳐다보긴. 우리는 멋있는 건 알아가지고.
What you're staring at, I know Mum is a badass.
그렇지. 바로 그거다 딸래.
좋아. 장부에서 삭제.
But because we got a stagger, now it's a very upset bear. Okay, I don't want to risk that. Nope. Good enough. Actually, wait. Bingo! Electric screaming.
재밌겠는데?
Oh man, this gives out MD damage after he doesn't it?
전기밖에 없는데 이것까지.
장부를 펼칠 것도 없겠군.
우리는 멋있는 건 알아가지고.
얼얼하지?
이거 공감 맞지? 그렇지. 필살. 바로 그거다. 렛 브레이크 슬램.
털만한 것.
재밌군.
출력 최대치.
Who missed their turn? I saw one of the skill slots wasn't unlit properly. Well, she has those middle vengeance tattoos now. Now the thing is, because we did stagger him, we can't get rid of both of these both of our rising fever at once.
좋아. 장부에서 삭제.
불길한 소리. 예감이 좋지 않다. 경계를 늦추지 말도록.
Oh. Well, that's just rude, ain't it? Ishmael, I need you to intercept that attack, and Heathcliff can go for this one. One of them will get through, but it's not the end of the world.
불에 더 키워.
그렇지. 이거 공감 맞지? 바로 그거다. 살레 필살. 발렛 브레이크 슬램.
저리 꺼져라.
장부를 펼칠 것도 없겠군.
우리는 멋있는 건 알아가지고.
장난이 길었군. 난 사양이다.
We just got unlucky with the speed ranges there, that's all. 0 stacks of rising fever. And now she's at 15 grudge, so she has Stamp of Vengeance ready. Aw, man. He's moving too slow. He can't intercept anything. Great.
공격범위 확인.
두 눈 크게 뜨고 잘 봐라.
충분히 나가 있어.
체리, 가자.
And now it's complete and total extermination.
불사이군.
Complete and total extermination is right. That was the killing freaking blow. Although it did kind of mess up the video at the end, didn't it?
어때 딸? 엄마밖에 없지?
Oh dear, she did she did all the damage there. Little brother Sinclair actually dealt more damage than Heathcliff, presumably because of speed ranges, I guess? Force took 6 damage, huh? Maybe it was self-inflicted damage, because I don't remember her take... No. It's not the self-inflicted damage, it would have been the bear's hug. But 50% of the run's damage, that's insane. Anyway, I think I might... How much is a 30 modules, huh? I might do that one just for fun on my own time to see how much we can ramp up. But until next time, guys, take care. I'll see you all around. Yeah, well, we can't end like this. We've got to actually see our fancy new
난
ID.
아침부터 바쁘니까 너희끼리 가서 적당히.
호로시아는 도시에서 벌어질 수 있는 다양한 전투 상황과 남부 쪽에 까다로운 원한이 너무 많지 않나? 몇몇 개는 과업으로도 충분해 보인다만 그 사건 때문에 의리순례를 돌 만한 인재가 영 없나 보군. 어쩔 수 없지. 가족을 위해서 이 누님이 나설 수밖에.